What's up, guys? Shay Stevens here, PDGA number 77522, and today we're taking a first look at the upcoming May release for MVP. Let's get to it. Before we get to the video, please click that like button if you're enjoying the content. If you find yourself coming back often, make sure you're subscribed and click that notification bell. It really helps me out, and I try to post videos at least once a week. As always, thank you all for the support. So I got my testers from MVP yesterday, but unfortunately, the weather here is abysmal. It's just rain, rain, and more rain. So we're going to be doing a first look video to take a look at these molds. I'm hoping I can get some throws in before these hit your retailer shelves, but if not, you'll at least have this video to fall back on when making your purchases. So first up, we have a putter release, and it is the Fission proxy. We expected this one to be coming just because, we got the Fission Envy, and they share the same core, I believe. So we thought this was on the horizon. It was probably going to be a stock release, and then, Simon did a cool thing, Music City Open 2023 commemorative disc. MVP sent me a 173 and a 172, so pretty similar weights. The rim swirling, guys, is just crazy on these things. Look at just, super pretty, really cool. It's really, cool to see that. In terms of feel, good Fission. It's got some good give to it. I remember the Envies being a little stiffer. I was curious if, being a putter, was the flight plate just naturally, more taut in Fission. But these do have some good give to them. I can definitely see them beating into something really nice. But I do have some pictures here to compare to, so let's take a look. First off, I have the Fission proxy side by side with an Eclipse soft proxy from the OTB Open release, Phase 1. You can see here, as we would expect, Eclipse is going to be more overstable. It's got that higher parting line than Fission, so that's looking good. Next up, I have it paired to an Electron proxy, and parting lines are darn near identical. Fission's maybe a little bit higher, which again is perfect. That's what we want to see. It should be a little more overstable than Electron in terms of parting line, so that's good. And then finally here, I threw it up against a Fission Envy, and as you can see here, very good difference in parting line height. So yeah, everything's lining up on this Fission proxy as I would expect. So if you like a beat in neutron proxy, I think you're really gonna like the Fission. Next up, we have a stock release we've all been expecting, the Streamline Echo. So we first saw the Echo in 2022 as the circuit event mid-range, and we saw it again as a limited release around the holidays from MVP as well. But now we finally got it in stock here. I got two. I got a 172 gram, 173 gram here. So this one's pretty stock, just, kind of a, orangish red color. This one's kind of got the faux gyro going, the halo, the orbit, spectrum, whatever you want to call it. It's got an off-colored rim here, so it's got a pale orange core with kind of a lavender around the rim. So, other companies can do it. MVP might as well do it too, So it's cool to show, that their molds their molding machines have the ability to produce those effects on discs as well. So neat to see. Maybe on some plate plates we'll see black overmold, white ring, and then something else just to get real crazy. Just to give Chad some fun ideas. But a lot of people complain about overlap in MVP's lineup, but honestly, overlap's a good thing, especially in the stable mid slot. You want something comfortable because a stable mid is so darn workable. So you want something that you can grip and just feel confident with. So you have the Echo, you have the Reactor, the Hex. In terms of feel, I feel like the Echo is the deepest of the three in terms of feel. So if you feel like a good full feeling disc in your hand, you definitely want to try the Echo out. When I threw it back in the circuit event, I know it was very glidey. I don't think it didn't go as far as the Hex or the Reactor in terms of just straight on distance, but where it shined was holes where you had to throw a big panning anhyzer shot around a corner, or even a bit of a hyzer flip to not quite flat to carry a corner. This thing has a lot of great horizontal movement and fights to stay in the air, so you can get a lot of distance left to right on this thing. So that's where the Echo really shines. But I have some side-by-sides here we can take a look at. So starting off, we have the Neutron Echo on the left versus the Neutron Echo from the Winter 2022 limited edition release. And they're darn near identical, which is good to see. We love consistency, so that's good to start off with. Next up, Echo on the left compared to a Neutron Hex. As you can see, parting line on the Hex is a little bit lower, so if the Hex is just a bit too understable for you, definitely you want to check out an Echo. And then lastly, I compared it to a Proton Reactor on the right. The reactor's parting line is I would expect it to be a little bit higher, but it's pretty much the same. So I have heard from some testers who immediately went out and threw the other day that they were able, that it said this Echo is flying pretty stable. So that's gonna be interesting to see. I got to look back at my old video of me throwing the Echo from the circuit event. I remember it being just a touch understable, getting a little bit of flip out of it before fading. So I'm curious to see how these fly. These might be a little bit more stable, but again, stay tuned for my field session to see how they fly. And to wrap up this release, we have from Axiom, the Fission Fireball. I was very excited to hear about this one just because I love the Fireball. It's a great overstable 9-speed. It's in my bag doing Fireball things, and I love Fission plastic. So the two meeting should be cool, right? In terms of Fission, it's what we would expect. It's got good gummy, pliability to it. In terms of grip, it's got a good grip to it. Some of the runs of Fission we've seen have been a bit on the slicker side. Not a concern with this guy. It's going to be interesting, though. MVP sent me a 172 gram and a 162 gram, so a 10 gram difference. So what are the difference in flight going to be? So I'm very excited. And I've also heard from some testers who got even lighter ones down the 150s. They are beefcakes, supposedly, like more so than the heavy guys. So when I heard that, I definitely had to get a side-by-side of these two, so let's take a look there. So you see here on the left, we have the 172 gram, and on the right, we have the 162. And the 162 gram does appear to be a bit more overstable. So I'm curious, there's less material, sees up more, pull that wing up. So that's going to be interesting. It's hard to tell in this picture. Also, the 172 gram does have a bit more dome, so I'm expecting a little bit more glide out of it. And if it's a little more understable, I'm wondering, can I hit this thing on like a bit of anhyzer, get it flipping, and get a nasty flex line out of it? So going to be excited to try that one out in the field. Next up, I have the 172 next to a neutron fireball, and as you would expect, neutron is more overstable, higher wing. So if you like a neutron fireball that's been really beaten in, a fission fireball right out of the box might be something you want to check out. And then wrapping up here, I have it next to a plasma fireball. Not as severe a difference. The plasma almost looks comparable to the 162 gram in terms of parting line height, so something to consider there. But yeah, it's going to be an overstable 9-speed for you, but not as severe as its other blends, which is something we expect from Fission. But definitely gonna be fun to check this one out. And that'll wrap up this first look at the upcoming release for MVP. Again, very excited for it. I'm looking forward to throwing these discs. In terms of excitement, first one is definitely going to be the Fission proxy. I'm just looking forward to mashing this thing. The Fission envies have been taking a long time to beat in, so I'm really hoping that this proxy is going to be more where I want it. I just want to be able to hit this nice and flat and get that nice long pan to the right before a fade at the end. And I want to see, can I stretch this thing out to like 350? So can't wait to mash on this, so stay tuned for that. Next up, Fission Fireball. I love Fission, love Fireballs. So two together are great. I really like a beat-in Fireball too, just for that ability to get that little bit of anhyzer out of it. But all of my Fireballs are just flat top. So this thing, having that bit of dome on it is, I'm really excited to see how far can I stretch this. Maybe get around some corners with it. So keep an eye out for that one. And lastly, the Echo. Again, it's a great mid-range. It's just not a good hand fit for me. I mean, I like it, but the reactor just fits more comfortably. And between the Fission reactor and the Eclipse reactor, I pretty much have my stable mid slots covered. So that's the only reason I'm like not as excited for the Echo. But again, guys, my friend loves it, so he bought all my circuit ones. And if you're looking for a deeper feeling mid range with great glide, check the Echo. I think they have much more glide compared to like a Hex, which is lower profile. So if you want something that has that extra float at the end, that fight to stay off the ground, definitely worth checking out. So. Again, thank you to MVP for sending me these testers. I will throw them as soon as Mother Nature permits. So keep an eye out for that. But as always, guys, if you have any questions for me, reach out. I'll do my best to answer them. Take care. Thank you to my sponsors. For all your disc off needs, check out Phoenix Discs and Foundation Disc Off.